It's the most expected broadcast of all time.
Urgent manhunt for a suspect in what authorities believe is a politically motivated assassination. A Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband murdered inside their home. Another lawmaker and his wife shot but survived. ABC's Faith Abube is at the scene in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota with the latest. Faith, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. Investigators spent hours here yesterday at the home of the former state House Speaker who was shot and killed along with her husband.
What is this?
Police say they encountered that suspect right here in this driveway, and it turned into a gun battle. He then took off through the house through the back door, running. This morning, an urgent manhunt underway after a man investigators say was posing as a police officer allegedly shot and killed a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband in their home. Police say the same...
Bro, I know, like, there's hella white people in Minnesota, but how the fuck have they not found this guy, man? What the hell is going on? Is he gonna get away with this shit? Because this is really fucked up. What the hell, dude?
Suspect was involved in a separate attack just 90 minutes earlier, allegedly shooting and wounding another lawmaker and his wife.
Suspects posing as police officers shot 2 victims.
Police responding to reports of gunfire around 2 a.m. Saturday at the home of Democratic Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette, just outside Minneapolis. Officers then checking on Democratic former House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband a few miles away at their Brooklyn Park home, only to find the two fatally shot.
They noticed that there was a police vehicle in the driveway with the lights, emergency lights on, and what appeared to be a police officer at the door coming out of the house. When our officers confronted him, the individual immediately fired upon the officers, who exchanged gunfire, and the suspect retreated back into the home.
Governor Tim Walz.
Like, this is the one time where you're like, come on, cops, do something. Like, do your fucking job. Like, it was smart of them to go to the other lawmaker's home. You know, that's, hey, listen, that's point one for cops, okay? But how the fuck do you let him get away, dude? How is that possible? And now you can't find him? Like, what is happening? The amount of information we have on this dude is far, far, far more vast than Luigi Mangione. Nobody knew his name. Nobody knew nothing about Luigi Mangione. And they were able to very quickly figure out who he was, where he was, allegedly how he shot the UHC healthcare CEO, allegedly. Once again, we don't even know if it was actually him who did it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, stupid ass alert's broken again. God damn it. Even CNN is contributing to the MAGA conspiracy about him.
Confusing motive, because this guy was appointed to a political position by Tim Walz.
There's no fucking way. There is nothing confusing about this guy. This is only confusing to you if you're a fucking moron. Right-wingers get appointed, especially if they got a previous position from the previous government. Right-wingers get appointed to like small business bureau style fucking positions all the time by Democrats. He wanted to kill Tim Walz.
So now he's attacking Democrats. So you have to try to figure out where he is with a lot of confusing different messages. It's a very confusing motive, because this guy
it's a confusing motive if you're a fucking baboon, dude.
Dead shortly. So I just want to let you know I love you guys both. And I wish it hadn't gone this way.
This is his roommate, by the way. There are still MAGA insisting Vance Belter was a Democrat when the people who knew him most have confirmed he was a Trump superfan. Listen to his roommate reading a text from him. This is the same roommate who confirmed he was a Trump supporter.
I don't want to say anything more and implicate you in any way, because you guys don't know anything about this. But I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused.
Also, you know he's a right-winger because Fox News is barely covering this. Like, I don't know. Maybe they are, but I haven't seen much coverage from Fox News on like, if he was actually a radical leftist, oh my God, the amount of coverage that'd be coming from Fox News would be crazy. They'd be like, they done did it again. They done fucking did it again. They're always up to no good, these dang leftists.
He was a loving, caring guy, you know, loved his family, loved his friends, and loved God, and I don't know why he did what he did. It's not Vance. No one will believe this. No one that grew up. He had lots of friends, trust me. I wish I could have been there to stop him. Dead short.
Sure, he's a right-wing evangelical preacher who supported Trump and was a registered Republican in OK. And sure, he assassinated a Dem former Speaker of the Minnesota House and has a hit list to assassinate all the top state Dems and abortion providers, but something about Marxists. Not releasing the manifesto of the media has provided a vacuum that even senators are using to relentlessly vomit out obvious, intentional, brain-rotten misinformation to try to keep their flock in line. I don't know what to say. It's like the dude killed Democrats. The dude killed fucking Democrats, wanted to kill even more Democrats, and he made it very clear. His background is that he's a Republican. He's voted for Trump. He loves Donald Trump. He's an evangelical pastor. Like, what more could someone say and do? What more could someone say and do for Republicans to be like, yeah, I think he's one of our guys? My MAGA friend texted me last night. The left is going crazy, killing their own politicians. There have been a lot of straws, but this one is actually the last straw. It's too dumb. Just spoke with, here's Lilia Luciano, national correspondent at CBS News. Just spoke with Vance Belter's roommate, David, who told us he was very conservative and would be offended if people thought he was a Democrat, as some had assumed, that he was a fan of InfoWars, that he voted for and was very happy President Trump won the election. He added that Belter had been struggling finding work since returning from DRC several months ago, that he didn't like abortion but had not discussed the issue much lately. He said he was a born-again Christian, and it changed significantly since that. At some point, he was preaching from a tent in a park. There it is. Born-again Christian, too. That makes a lot of sense. David told us he saw Belter on security camera return to the property after the shooting and saw him pacing back and forth in the video. He received a text from Belter, which read in part, the friend he texted saying, David and Ron, I love you guys. I've made some choices and you guys don't know anything about this, but I'm going to be gone for a while. I may be dead shortly. So I just want to let you know that I love you guys both. And I wish it had gone this way. I wish it hadn't gone this way. I don't want to say anything more and implicate you in any way because you guys don't know anything about this, but I love you guys and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused. When Republicans say he's not one of ours, he's a Dem, they're just doing the canard that Sartre speaks of here. They're having fun. Yeah, I mean, I think so, yeah, for sure. Because this doesn't make any sense, but I don't think they realize that like that kind of shit has motion on Twitter, which I think Elon is base boosting, by the way. I want to point that out because normally... I look at this. This tweet, 71,000 likes. This tweet, 26,000 likes. This tweet, 56,000 likes. This tweet on the issue on Vance Belter, 75,000 likes. My fucking retweet of Elon Musk's super viral tweet that got 253,000 likes lying and saying this guy is implying that this guy is an extreme leftist, 17,000 likes. I feel like there's some spice in the algo a little bit, or they're just juicing this misinfo. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm too conspiratorially minded. But I also can totally see Elon Musk like testing this. How much can we actually massage the algorithm to make people believe that this person is actually a leftist? Grok used facts to tell Elon he was wrong, and now he's going to reprogram it. He's going to break it again, just like he did with the fucking white genocide narratives. Grok, why is the left so murderously violent? They don't seem so tolerant. The claim that the left is murderously violent isn't backed by evidence. The cited incidents like the United Healthcare CEO killing Minnesota lawmakers' murders show no clear ties to left-wing groups. Motives were often individual or unclear. Grok has been manipulated by leftist indoctrination, unfortunately. I know, working on fixing that this week. Grok is going to be spitting out white genocide narratives again. Oh, this is so long. I don't want to read this.
Calling the deadly shooting politically motivated.
Speaker Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota.
Authorities now naming 57-year-old Vance Belter as the suspect. Investigators say he was dressed as an officer, wearing a vest, a badge, and a taser, and was driving an SUV with police lights. The FBI releasing images they say are of him in a cowboy hat and wearing a latex mask outside one of the victims' homes. Investigators say they've recovered several firearms from Belter's vehicle, along with No Kings flyers and writings mentioning the names of the victims, some abortion providers, and other Democratic lawmakers. Sources telling ABC News law enforcement is looking into whether he may have been motivated by extreme views on abortion.
Through the 90s, he really hated abortion. But we hardly ever talked. I haven't talked really about abortion for him for years.
His longtime friend David Carlson saying the suspect had been staying with him. Carlson's home raided Saturday. This just the latest in a string of violent attacks against lawmakers.
I've seen increased security for me, as have my colleague Senator Smith and all our members, as well as, of course, legislators.
And right now, there are hundreds of agents spread out across the area in this urgent manhunt. They have detained and questioned several people, but no one is in custody at this point. In the meantime, though, authorities have increased securities for some elected officials and others they believe may be at risk. There is a $50,000 reward on the table for information leading to that suspect's arrest. And Gio, I've talked to several of the neighbors here, some of them just heartbroken that this tragic event happened right here. Gio.
Heartbreaking and incredibly concerning. Faith, thank you so much for your reporting.
We have breaking news right now this morning in shootings that have shocked the nation. We will have a live report in moments from Sibley County. The manhunt has continued for the suspect accused of shooting and killing Minnesota House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark in their home in Brooklyn Park. State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette.
It's also so psychotic because, like, imagine being a Democratic lawmaker right now. I said this yesterday, but imagine being a fucking Democratic lawmaker and you're on the hit list of this psychopathic assassin, and every one of your colleagues and everyone on the right in the media is just like running around being like, yeah, I can't believe radical Marxists doing it again. And you're just like sitting there waiting to be potentially assassinated as the killer's on the fucking run. And your friend murdered her. Hopefully you're investigated. This type of thing. Democrats trying to figure out how to blame Trump for a violent Democrat murdering another Democrat for voting against Democrats. 68,000 likes. Oh my God. Oh my God. We can't have a country with these people. We can't. We can't live like a normal life with half of the fucking, I mean, this is not half the country, but like the overwhelming majority of Twitter users that are right wing believe insane conspiracy theories, dude. This is so psychotic. The guy's going to come out and be like, I'm a fucking Republican. Stop calling me a Democrat. And then everyone's going to be like, oh, it's a fucking government narrative. They got him. They got him to admit that he's a Republican when he's actually definitely a Democrat. That is if he is caught alive. Oh, this is pissing me off. The wife of the man suspected of killing a Democratic lawmaker and her husband was detained in a traffic stop after police. Wait, what? The wife of a man suspected of killing a Democratic lawmaker? Oh, yeah. The wife was detained in the traffic stop after police discovered a weapon, ammunition, cash, and passports in the trunk of her car. Didn't they also, like, let her go?
Were also shot in their home in Champlin Park. They're recovering in the hospital. The FBI is now leading a multi-agency search for this man. 57-year-old Vance Belter Barrett Leone joins us live from Highway 25 in rural Green Isle, which is located in Sibley County, just 52 minutes southwest of the Twin Cities. Barrett, we understand you have some big information here.
Yeah, Esme, a huge development in this manhunt for 57-year-old Vance Belter. We just found out that the suspect's vehicle has been found. We are standing on Highway 25. If you can see behind me, there's some flashing lights way down there, and there's a gravel road right off the side there, and that is where we believe and what appears to be the suspect's vehicle. It looks like it's abandoned. And even more telling, just at the intersection off of that gravel road is a discarded cowboy hat. It appears to just be thrown on the road, and that really is where the heart of this investigation is. I want to show you an image that we took of that hat, and as you can see in that image, it looks and matches the description of the hat that Belter was last seen wearing, and is around that hat, around that vehicle on that gravel road. 301st Avenue is where the heaviest presence we're seeing of law enforcement. We're seeing multiple agencies on scene, U.S. Marshals, local police, troopers, all here at the center of this investigation. So again, authorities are now blocking off Highway 25 where we're standing, so no one is able to pass through Highway 25. They've also blocked off the 301st Avenue, which is where we see that abandoned vehicle. We know that there's also agents, investigators at a nearby residence to the road where this investigation is happening. We also know, thanks to an emergency alert that I received just moments before coming to you live here, that Belter has not been located now. And everyone in the area, according to this emergency alert, they're asked to keep doors locked and vehicles secured, report any suspicious information. So right now, as we are aware, Vance Belter is still at large in this massive manhunt for this shooter.
All right, Barrett, amazing reporting. Please stay safe and please get going on the rest of that story because you're all over it. Thank you very much.
Red alert incoming. Oh shit, Jank 2028 is in Israel. What's happening? In about 5 minutes, we just got alerts for missiles in Israel. Yes, Jank 2028 is a Israeli chatter. Central and northern Israel targeted. What a wild community we have here. We got fucking Iranian chatters in here telling me about how their neighborhood's being bombed by Israel, and Israeli chatters talking about how they're fucking getting alerts from missiles coming in from Iran. It's crazy. See, everyone can unite under the same banner of socialism, communism, and also Hasanabi thirst traps. And also, obviously, principled anti-Zionism, let's be real. But accidental PvP chat? No fan of mine would ever... No fan of mine is going to be like, oh yeah, like fucking let's kill everyone in Iran. Alleged video showing the shooter breaking into a car at 6 a.m. yesterday. Mustard and tortilla chips, thoughts chat? Okay, you're pushing it. There are indefensible positions as well.
This is a live look from the Blaine Command Center as we await the latest information on the manhunt for Vance Bettler. There is no word yet this morning on any upcoming briefings, but we'll be there if any news information comes out. Minnesota law enforcement...
I'm in Iraq and both of them are bombing me. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel worse for the Iraqi chatter.
Officials say this is how the situation unfolded. First, a call to Champlin police at 2 a.m. yesterday, and officers respond to State Senator John Hoffman's home. Hoffman and his wife are found with gunshot wounds and taken to the hospital. One of the responding Brooklyn Park police officers suggests they check on Representative Hortman's home because she lives just a few miles away. They arrive at the Hortman home at 3:30 yesterday morning and were surprised to see an SUV that looked like a police car in the driveway with emergency lights on. Officers saw a person...
Çalışıyor, açmadım ama. Kapat. Şunu çöpe at. Seni çöp gibi atarım.
Coming out of the home, appearing to be a police officer. The officers were met immediately with gunfire from that person. They exchanged gunfire and the man ran back into the Hortman's home. Police were able to pull Mark Hortman out of the house. He would later die at the hospital. Police then used a drone to search for the suspect in the home. It was there they found Representative Hortman, who had been shot and killed. Police determined the man had escaped out a back door. That man was later identified as Vance Bettler. Authorities want to hear from you if you have any information about him. Here is the tip line, 877-996-6222. You can also send information to bca.tips@state.mn.us.
Mike's
there
not
is
on.
a $50,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. The FBI